My task for this time is to discuss about managing students' behaviors in the classroom. Classroom management is one of the most important tasks in the professional life of a teacher. Aside from it, managing the students' behaviors too. What is behavior? Any idea or what comes first into your mind if you heard the word behavior? Okay, thank you. Behavior is learned and it can be unlearned. Students learn a pattern of behavior through observation or through feedback and consequences. Students may learn new behaviors by observing other people's behavior through social learning or modeling. If they see other people behaving in a certain way and it imitates them. Managing student behavior as a learned skill, but classroom control will begin before the students even enter the classroom. It is not an easy task in managing students after all, but it depends on every teacher on how she or he handle and develop his or own form of discipline, because they are the one who must balance a great deal in the classroom on a daily basis in order for the students to feel valued and welcome. Aside from those, they're giving lessons, grading, giving students assistance, and doing administrative tasks, and most importantly, must manage student behavior. Without appropriate consider for behavior management, classrooms can become unruly and chaotic. It can also create an environment that is not conducive to learning. For example, Mary hears that the teacher excused other students for not handing in homework because they claimed to have forgotten it at home. So she uses a similar excuse. It is an example of behavior that is based through observation. Otherwise, students learn behaviors through the feedback and consequence they receive. It could be at home or in school. Sometimes it is unintentionally reinforced negative behavior. For example, students try to get sent out of class for disrupting the class in order to avoid a task or activity they dislike. It is an example of behavior that is based through feedback and consequences. Based on Scholarship 2020, there are 8 strategies in how to manage students' behaviors. As a teacher, you should spend time defining it in order to set the class up with the right expectations and provides boundaries. First, engage the class in setting behavior expectations. As teachers begin the new school year, there may be anxiety around establishing and enforcing what students feel, but they consider the element of self-determination to classroom expectations. By allowing the entire class to participate in setting behavior expectations, students feel greater ownership over the set of rules they live under. Second, provide immediate but subtle corrections. When issues arise in the classroom, they should be addressed immediately. However, stopping the entire class to make a correction is counterintuitive to the purpose of establishing a set of rules, because it pulls students away from the lessons and interrupts their focus. Whenever possible, teachers should choose nonverbal cues to indicate a demonstrated behavior if it is out of bounds. So, these kinds of subtle cues prevent drawing additional attention to the disruptive student. Third, model and promote positive behaviors. Modeling the behaviors you want to see in a classroom gives students an example to imitate, as well as clarifies exactly how they are expected to behave. Illustrate positive behaviors such as looking a student in the eye when they are speaking or allowing them to finish statements and thoughts without. Fourth, provide time to transition. Task switching can be challenging for students of almost any age. This is especially true if the tasks are very different, such as going from physical education to math or from self-directed learning to a lecture. But without transition time, some students may become frustrated, so they need extra time to mentally let go of the previous lesson before moving on to the next. Fifth, encourage advanced learners. Students all learn at different rates, and even the same student can progress at varying speeds depending on the subject. When teachers focus on those struggling with a subject, advanced learners can get bored, in which it can result in poor behaviors. For them who cover a subject quickly, give them the opportunity to work ahead on a specific topic or offer them advanced work on the subject. Sixth, engage parents with positive communication opportunities. Parents typically fear a call from their child's teacher, as rarely does a call from school signal good news. But a note or a phone call discussing an insightful answer or a kind gesture will build rapport with parents, in which it creates a positive cycle between home and school. Seventh, use technology tools to track and analyze classroom and individual. When a classroom is mostly controlled, behavioral anomalies stand out. If one student acts out regularly or frequently, that may signal a need for additional support. Leveraging technology serves as a design for behavioral tracking to identify students who have a difficult time following rules or frequently disruptive can be helpful in both getting the student help and in identifying a root cause. 8. Use nonverbal cues to refocus students. Verbal cues can create unwanted attention and disrupt lesson flow. Nonverbal cues, on the other hand, can be effective in clarifying to students because their behavior is unacceptable without breaking the classroom's rhythm. Cues such as pointing to the lesson in front of a student or simply standing next to a group that is speaking out of turn can refocus them on the task at hand without drawing undue attention to the behavior or appearing to promote it in any way. In addition, one key tactic for managing student behavior is setting behavior standards for the classroom. By this, it can help maintain a positive environment in the classroom and also promote student motivation. Another is rewarding positive acts, wherein students respond to positive reinforcement such as completing homework ahead of time, listening attentively, and being respectful toward others. By this, they could learn to model their behavior accordingly. To sum it up, student behavior management strategies doesn't necessarily mean ruling a classroom. Instead, classroom-level behavior management should provide a set of expectations and allow for appropriate corrections within the context of the learning environment. Because building positive relationships and improving communication with families and students can help to drive positive behaviors of students, especially their own campus. Is there any queries, clarifications, suggestions, recommendations, additions in this topic? Feel free to ask, guys. If there's none, okay. Thank you for listening attentively.